Psalm 121 says, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121 verses 1 to 8. What an incredible promise and reassurance this psalm offers us. As we unpack it, I want us to see three key truths that will strengthen our faith and help us navigate the unseen battles we face. The first truth is this: your help comes from the Lord. The psalmist begins by saying, I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. V.1-2. Now, the mountains here are likely a reference to the pagan shrines and temples that were built on high places, where people would go to seek help and blessing from their false gods. But the psalmist makes it clear that his help doesn't come from any earthly source or created thing. It comes from the Lord, the all-powerful creator of the universe. This is such an important perspective for us to have, especially when we're facing difficulties and challenges in life. Our natural tendency is to look to the mountains, the things of this world, whether it's our own strength and resources, other people, or even our circumstances. We think, if I can just get this situation under control, if I can just make the right move, then I'll be okay. But the psalmist is reminding us that our ultimate help and deliverance doesn't come from any of those sources. Our help comes from the Lord. He is the one who has the power to intervene in our lives, to guard and protect us, to give us the strength and wisdom we need. As the old hymn says, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. When the waves are crashing all around us, when the battle seems too great, we have to lift our eyes above the mountains and remember that our help comes from the Lord. The psalmist goes on to say in verse 2 that this help comes from the maker of heaven and earth. This is a crucial detail, because it speaks to the sheer power and sovereignty of the God we're trusting in. He isn't some finite, limited deity. He is the all-powerful creator of the entire universe. There is nothing and no one that is outside of his control or authority. When we're facing overwhelming circumstances, it can be easy to feel like we're just at the mercy of random chance or the whims of fate. But the truth is, we serve a God who is not only infinitely powerful, but also intimately involved in the affairs of our lives. He is not some distant, disinterested deity. He is the maker of heaven and earth, who cares deeply about us and is working all things together for our good. This truth should fill us with an unshakable confidence and hope. No matter how daunting the battle may seem, we can rest assured that our help comes from the Lord, the all-powerful Creator who is more than able to deliver us and fight on our behalf. The second truth we see in this psalm is that the Lord is our constant and vigilant protector. Verse 3 says, He will not let your foot slip, He who watches over you will not slumber. And then in verses 4 to 5, it says, Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you, for the Lord is your shade at your right hand. What a beautiful picture of God's unwavering care and protection over us. The psalmist uses the imagery of a watchman who never sleeps or takes his eyes off the people he's entrusted to guard. Even in the darkest of nights, when we're most vulnerable, the Lord is there, alert and attentive, ready to intervene on our behalf. This is such a powerful truth to meditate on, especially when we're going through difficult seasons and feel like we're all alone in the battle. The reality is, we're not alone. God is right there with us, fighting for us, watching over us, guarding our lives. In the book of Zechariah, the prophet had a vision of Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, with Satan accusing and opposing him. But the Lord said to Satan, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan. The Lord, who has chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you." Is not this man a burning stick snatched from the fire? Zechariah 3 verse 2. You see, even when it feels like the forces of darkness are coming against us, God is there, rebuking the enemy and snatching us out of the fire. He is our constant protector, our ever-vigilant watchman, who will never let our foot slip or allow any real harm to come to us. The imagery of the Lord being our shade at our right hand is also incredibly powerful. In the ancient Near East, the right hand was seen as the position of power and authority. So the psalmist is saying that the Lord, the all-powerful creator of the universe, is standing at our right hand, shielding us from the scorching heat of the sun, and by extension, any other threats or dangers that may come our way. This speaks to the intimate, personal nature of God's protection over us. He isn't just watching from a distance, He is right there, beside us, actively guarding and defending us. It's as if He's saying, I'm not just your protector, I'm your ever-present companion. I will never leave you or forsake you. And the psalmist makes it clear that this protection is not limited or conditional. God will neither slumber nor sleep. In other words, there is no moment, no circumstance, where the Lord is not fully attentive and engaged in safeguarding our lives. His watchful care over us is constant and unwavering. This truth should give us such peace and courage, even in the midst of the fiercest battles. No matter how dark the night may be, no matter how overwhelming the enemy's attacks, we can rest assured that the Lord, the all-powerful Creator, is fighting for us and will never abandon us. The third and final truth we see in this psalm is that the Lord will keep us from all harm, both now and forevermore. Verse 7 says, "The Lord will keep you from all harm, He will watch over your life." And then in verse 8, it says, "The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore." This is such a sweeping and all-encompassing promise of God's protection. It's not just that He'll watch over us in certain situations or for a limited time. He will keep us from all harm, both now and forever. There is no area of our lives, no circumstance or situation, that is outside of God's sovereign care and control. Now, this doesn't mean that we'll never face any difficulty or hardship in this life. In fact, Jesus promised that in this world we will have trouble, John 16 verse 33. But it does mean that even in the midst of those trials and battles, God is there, working all things together for our good and for His glory, Romans 8 verse 28. The sun may beat down on us, the moon may shine brightly in the night, but none of those things can ultimately harm us, because the Lord is our protector. He is our shade, our shelter, our ever-present help in times of trouble. And this promise extends not just to our lives here on earth, but for all eternity. The Lord will watch over our coming and going, both now and forevermore. No matter what the future holds, we can rest assured that God's steadfast love and unwavering protection will be with us, guiding us and keeping us safe. Again, this doesn't mean we'll be immune to all hardship or suffering in this life. But it does mean that even in the darkest of valleys, even when we're facing the fiercest battles, the Lord is with us, fighting for us, and ensuring that no real, lasting harm will come to us. He is the unshakable foundation upon which our lives are built. This truth is particularly powerful when we consider the spiritual battles we face. In Ephesians 6, the Apostle Paul talks about the spiritual forces of evil that we wrestle against, the rulers, the authorities, the powers of this dark world, and the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Ephesians 6 verse 12. These unseen powers of darkness are constantly at work, trying to trip us up, discourage us, and draw us away from the Lord. And sometimes, the battle feels overwhelming. We may look around and wonder, where is God in all of this? Why isn't He doing anything? But Psalm 121 reminds us that the Lord is indeed fighting for us, even when we can't see it. He is our ever-vigilant protector, guarding our lives and keeping us from all harm. The enemy may attack, but he cannot ultimately prevail, because the Lord is watching over us, both now and forevermore. This is the kind of truth that can give us such peace and courage, even when we're in the thick of the battle. When we feel overwhelmed by the enemy's schemes, when we're tempted to give in to fear and discouragement, we can remember that the Lord is fighting for us. He is our unshakable fortress, our impenetrable shield, our everlasting defender. And friends, I don't know what battles you might be facing right now. Perhaps it's a struggle with anxiety or depression, a difficult relationship, a health crisis, or some other challenge that has you feeling weary and discouraged. But I want to encourage you, take heart. The Lord is your ever-present help and protector. He is fighting for you, even when you can't see it. So let's cling to the truths of Psalm 121 and allow them to strengthen our faith and fill us with hope. Let's lift our eyes to the Lord, our Maker, and trust that He is our ever-vigilant watchman, guarding and protecting us, both now and forevermore. One of the things that makes this psalm so powerful is the way it juxtaposes the vastness of God's power and sovereignty with the intimacy of His care for us. On the one hand, we have this majestic image of the Lord as the all-powerful creator of heaven and earth. He is the maker, the sustainer, the sovereign ruler over all things. And yet, at the same time, this psalm portrays Him as a loving, attentive protector who is intimately involved in the details of our lives. He is the one who watches over us, who guards our steps, who shields us from harm. He is not some distant, disinterested deity, but a God who is deeply invested in our well-being and committed to fighting for us. This beautiful interplay between God's transcendence and His immanence is what makes this psalm so profoundly comforting and reassuring. We serve a God who is infinitely powerful and majestic, and yet also infinitely personal and caring. He is the creator of the universe, and yet He is also the loving Father who numbers the hairs on our heads and catches every tear we shed. And friends, I don't know about you, but that truth fills me with such awe and wonder. To think that the same God who upholds all things by the word of His power, Hebrews 1 verse 3, is also the God who stoops down to tenderly care for us, to fight our battles, to watch over our lives, it's almost more than I can comprehend. But that's the beauty of the gospel, isn't it? That's the heart of the good news we've been given, that the King of Kings and Lord of Lords has chosen to enter into an intimate, saving relationship with us. Despite our sin and brokenness, despite our weakness and vulnerability, He has made a way for us to be reconciled to Him, to be adopted as His beloved children. And so when we come to a passage like Psalm 121, we can't help but be flooded with a sense of profound gratitude and trust. We realize that the God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who never slumbers or sleeps, is the same God who has pledged Himself to us, who has promised to fight for us and keep us safe, both now and forevermore. Thanks so much for joining me today. I pray that this message has been an encouragement to you, and that you'll continue to meditate on the powerful truths of Psalm 121 in the days ahead. God bless you. Until next time, keep your eyes fixed on the Lord, the Maker of heaven and earth, who is fighting your battles and will never leave you or forsake you. God bless.